This is a full story. Puppy wishes you all a happy and enjoyable story. My name is Haley, and I have a childhood friend named Rockey. Before we were even born, my mom and his mom had arranged our marriage. If we were of the same gender, they would be sworn siblings. If we were of different genders, they would arrange a betrothal. Rockey's mom is a renowned beauty and has been my mom's close friend for years. They are also neighbors. So, she was determined to have a son so she could marry her daughter to her best friend's daughter. But, as you might guess, my name clearly indicates I'm a girl. Unfortunately for Rockey, who was supposed to be my fiancé from the womb, he ended up fighting with me from the moment he was born. We started fighting in kindergarten. In kindergarten, I was a voracious eater and grew quickly. The fights were one-sided. I would always overpower him, pinning him down completely. So, to be able to beat me, Rockey became a little chubby. I was the big brother. He was the little brother. I always got the first lick of the ice lolly, and he only got to play the game console after I was done. When I played with others, he would follow me around like a little shadow, never saying a word, just trailing behind me wherever I went. I didn't mind. Who wouldn't like having a little companion who obediently followed them? When first grade started and I saw the class list, Class 1 Rockey, Class 1 Haley, I was despairing. It meant we'd be together for 6 years, commuting to and from school together every day. Rockey seemed delighted, always grinning, and had 2 bowls of rice that night, but I wasn't happy. I didn't want that little chubby kid tagging along with me. My mom and Rockey's mom worked at the same office and took the bus together every day. Rockey and I went to the same school and took the bus together every day. Every time we walked to the bus stop after school, I would deliberately walk quickly, making Rockey run to keep up, panting heavily. Wait up. He ran like a dumpling with legs. Can you hear me? I'm calling you. Haley, slow down. I'm falling behind. That's because you're fat and have short legs. Those hurtful words slipped out without me realizing I was hurting little dumpling Rockey's feelings. His tears welled up in his eyes, and he bit his lip, trying hard not to let them fall. At that time, we girls liked tough guys, and seeing him like this made me dislike him even more. Noticing my disdain, little dumpling Rockey only dared to follow me from afar. Whenever he had a question he couldn't solve, Rockey would knock on my door with his homework notebook. Even though Rockey was chubby, he still inherited his mom's beauty, and his chubbiness made him look even more endearing. My mom adored him, and he was always welcome at our house. In front of my mom, I acted very well behaved, but once the door was closed, I'd unleash my big brother persona. What question can't you solve? This one, the chubby little hand pointed to a crooked arithmetic problem. You don't even know this? Where did all the rice you ate go? I give you 3 apples, I take 2 away, now tell me, how many are left? None. What do you mean none? 3 minus 2 is 1, you still have 1 apple. But I would give all 3 apples to Haley. Now I would be touched, but at that time, I was just infuriated. It was an arithmetic problem, and he was giving me nonsense. He was so stupid. Every night, in a certain building in Washington B district, my angry roars could be heard as I tried to teach Rockey arithmetic. What's the relationship? Tell me. There are 11 cabbages at home, 5 were eaten, how many are left? None, I would eat them all. You caught 25 butterflies, I let 15 go, how many are left in your hand? None. If Haley wants to let them go, then let them all go. You have 30 yuan, you give me 20, how much do you have left? Haley, I don't have that much money. Then how much do you have? 10 yuan, all for Haley to buy corn candy. Until the 6th grade, during one summer vacation when we didn't see each other, Rockey had slimmed down. Though not a lot, he looked much more proportionate. He was already good-looking, and with his slimmer figure, his beauty was even more evident. In a group of elementary school kids who hadn't fully grown yet, his high nose bridge and double eyelids made him stand out. Many girls in the grade were eager, and some even boldly invited him to their homes. When class beauty Alice blocked him and shyly asked if he could go home with her, I admit I felt a bit jealous. Alice had fair skin, big eyes, double eyelids, and a plump face. In the 6th grade, I still had internal double eyelids and was a bit dark-skinned, which made me very self-conscious. This self-consciousness made me shy away from any attention-grabbing activities. When it came to Rockey, seeing him being cornered by Alice and looking towards me for help, I turned my back and ran to the bus stop to wait. Haley, wait for me. Little dumpling had grown into a young lad, and he was now about my height. Since he slimmed down, I became even more self-conscious. When he was chubby, he made me look slimmer. Now that he wasn't, I appeared even darker and yellower in comparison. In 6th grade, I was selfish. I took out my frustrations on Rockey. I wasn't going to wait for him. As soon as the bus arrived, I got on. He followed, panting, and sat next to me. Haley, are you mad? I didn't go home with Alice. I'm going home with Haley. Rockey looked at me earnestly. Then he pulled out a handful of corn candies from his pocket and handed them to me. Big brother, please enjoy. Fine, fine, for the sake of the corn candy, I forgave him. I sulkily ate all the corn candy, not leaving you any. Rockey took out a few more corn candies from his pocket. Okay, all for you. Why does he sound like he's trying to placate a child? Although we are indeed both children. Oh wait, I mean, I'm the big brother and he's the little brother. How can the little brother placate the big brother like he's a child? The big brother has to maintain his authority. So the corn candy is all for the big brother, and the little brother gets nothing. When we got off the bus, Rockey, as always, wanted to hold my hand. I avoided it. There are dogs on this road. Come on, after 6 years, you always say there are dogs on this road, so I should hold your hand for protection. There are no dogs. Even if there are, I'm not afraid. Big brother isn't afraid of dogs, but I am. Can big brother protect the little brother? Rockey looked at me seriously. When he looked at me with such a serious expression, I couldn't stand it. I still couldn't bear to hurt him. A big brother doesn't hold grudges against his little brother. That's called being magnanimous. Come on, give me your hand. Thank you, bro. Before graduating from elementary school, Rockey came over to my house as usual. Haley, which middle school do you want to attend? There are 2 middle schools in Washington, School A and School B. School A, okay. With Rockey's current grades, he could easily go to a top high school in New York. But I never asked about his choice. I knew wherever I went, Rockey would always follow me. I never worried about him being taken away. This sense of security and his indulgence towards me made me quite spoiled. I almost never considered his feelings because he would always put me first. On graduation day, I cried terribly. I was reluctant to part with classmates and teachers I had spent 6 years with. I was eager to write in everyone's yearbook. Everyone in class wrote in mine, except Rockey. He said we'd never be separated, so there was no need for a yearbook. Do whatever you want, right or not. Sitting in the back row of the bus, I kept flipping through the yearbook. We won't be separated. How do you know we won't be separated? Maybe one day I'll stop playing with you. I replied brusquely. I just know. Nonsense. As I was about to retort, a corn candy was shoved into my mouth. He was quite perceptive. Fine, I forgive you. That evening, our families celebrated our elementary school graduation with a barbecue. The location was on the rooftop of our building. Rockey's family provided the ingredients, and my family provided the place. The adults were busy toasting each other. I was still very sad. Thinking about never seeing my close friends and favorite teachers again made me want to cry. Sitting by the edge of the rooftop, with only the sound of cicadas in the summer night, Rockey somehow appeared beside me. Haley, still sad. I'm not. It's okay, you'll make new friends. Rockey was increasingly acting like a little adult. If I have new friends, I'll forget old ones. The first one to be forgotten is Rockey. We won't be separated. You've said that 100 times. How do you know we won't be separated? Rockey just looked up at the sky. After a while, he pointed to a star and said, "Look, that's Sagittarius." Where is Sagittarius? Rockey held my hand and pointed to a shining star in the night sky. That's Scorpio. Sagittarius and Scorpio are a perfect match. He glanced at me timidly and added, Haley is Sagittarius, and I'm Scorpio. Haley, see, the Scorpio is protecting the Sagittarius? So, I will always protect Haley. I didn't know what a forever meant. Maybe the present moment is forever. Pinky swear, 100 years, no change. Whoever changes is a puppy. Me, key. Rockey, you didn't bring it? Me, I rushed out and forgot. Rockey, sighing, here's the spare key. Me, forget it. My parents are on a business trip for the next few days. I'm coming over for dinner. Remember to leave the door open for me. Rockey, what do you want to eat? Me, Coke chicken wings. Rockey, anything else? Me, sour and spicy shredded potatoes. Just the 2 of us, 2 dishes are enough. Also, make some porridge. I'm going to the bookstore with my desk mate and will be back later. Okay. When I left the classroom, my desk mate Serena's shocked expression finally relaxed. You two, how are you so in sync? We've been childhood friends, growing up together. My mom and his mom are also old friends. Oh, I see. Serena gave a meaningful look. What are you thinking? You two, are you not dating early? Rockey and I? How is that possible? We? How could we be dating early? Don't suspect us. Okay, you're not dating early. But look at the way Rockey looks at you, almost melted. It's no wonder I suspect you. I tried to recall Rockey's gaze. Melted? What does that even mean? Seriously, Rocky seems like a little wife, cooking and waiting for you. Wife? He's already 1.7 meters tall in the first year of middle school. I've never seen a taller wife than me. That's true. None of the boys in our class have grown up yet, and he's already 1.7 meters tall. He doesn't seem like a wife, but you seem like a man who never stays home. Fine, Serena. You said I look like a man. You're done for. You do look like a man. Not at all. At 7:30, I knocked on Rocky's door. Haley, you're back. While eating, I carefully observed Rocky's gaze, and it didn't look melted at all. What are you staring at? You look good. Rocky was instantly speechless and buried his head in his food. After a while, he softly said, "If I look good, then look more." Huh? What did you say? I didn't hear clearly. I didn't say anything. He was already fair-skinned, and his face turned visibly red. All right, your cooking has improved. The sour and spicy shredded potatoes are excellent. If you like it, I'll keep making it for you. Eating shredded potatoes all the time? No way, or I'll turn into a potato. Rocky, you're plotting something. Big brother says so. Whatever big brother wants to eat in the future, little brother will make for big brother. That's better. After finishing, I went home to sleep. The summer rain came suddenly, pouring down in a heavy storm without any warning. I've always been afraid of lightning and thunder. Shaking under the covers, sweating from the stuffiness, I hesitated but still took my blanket and pillow and knocked on Rocky's door. Rocky hadn't gone to sleep yet and was still in his school uniform. Afraid of thunder? Not really. Rumble, rumble. All right, I'm afraid. I was about to act tough, but immediately admitted defeat. After arranging for me to sleep on his bed, Rocky continued to sit at his desk and do his homework. Looking at Rocky's back, I felt inexplicably at ease. He really did seem like a little wife. Since I was occupying his bed, Rocky had to sleep on the sofa. When a ray of sunlight streamed through the window and landed on my face, Rocky happened to knock on the door. I heated up some milk. Wake up and drink. I always wake up grumpy and don't want to talk in the morning, but I never lose my temper with Rocky. A big brother shouldn't abuse his authority over a little brother. Damn, am I late? What time is it? Isn't today a school day? Damn, it's Saturday. Rocky pulled me in and ruffled my hair. Sleepyhead? I sighed in relief. So it's Saturday. Don't wake me up. Let me sleep until the end of the world. I immediately buried my head under the covers. Looking at the person lying in his bed, looking like a mess, Rocky couldn't help but smile. Having grown up together, she's always been unguarded around him. Thinking of this made Rocky smile uncontrollably. As for the food, she could eat it when she wakes up. With me, she can do whatever she wants. Bonus chapter, Rocky's perspective. Haley is upset today. The full score for English is 120. She scored 118, and so did I. But in physics, with a full score of 60, she only got 12 points, having guessed 3 multiple-choice questions correctly. She said there's progress. Last time she got only 10 points, and if she improves by 2 points each time, she'll get 14 points next time, and after a few more attempts, she'll get a full score. She was originally very happy, but after seeing my paper, she became unhappy because I got a full score. Seeing her slumped on the desk, I felt the first pang of not wanting to study physics, even though I like it very much. She's chatting and laughing with the student in front of her. Even though I'm her desk mate, why isn't she talking to me? Is it because the math problem I explained today was too obscure? It's frustrating. I hope Tony will be considerate and stop talking to Haley. Before the physics exam, I gave her my old barcode, hoping it would bring her good luck. Recently, she told me she likes Troye Sivan. I don't know what that is, but Tony does. I regret not saying I knew. I should have said I knew, otherwise, Tony wouldn't have gotten the chance to talk to her. A bit jealous. Well, not a bit, but very jealous. After school, I looked up Troye Sivan. Oh, he's a foreign singer. Every day during the big break, the school broadcast plays songs. Today, during the big break, I used my position as the broadcast station head to request Blue for her. Tony couldn't do that. I could. But she doesn't know it was me who requested the song. Oh well, as long as she's happy. Today is the school basketball league, and Tony will be playing basketball. He invited Haley to watch him play. I can't stop her from going. She isn't my exclusive possession. She is Haley. Haley can do whatever she wants. I just wish I knew how to play basketball. If I did, she would be handing me water, not Tony. Haley is watching very intently, more so than when I explain problems. It hurts, makes me want to cry. Fortunately, I won first place in the physics competition, and Haley's object of admiration soon became me. Tony, with absolute strength, you still lost. She excitedly told every elderly person sitting on the park benches that Rocky won first place in the physics competition. Decided. I'll aim to win a prize in the math competition next time. Winter break. My parents are traveling. They have been away for work for years and don't come home. We seem like left behind children, having a sense of relying on each other. Over the years, my cooking skills have greatly improved. Haley had been craving braised pork ribs for days, so I made it for her today. My parents are such a strange couple. They're gallivanting on the Inner Mongolia grasslands, and Haley caught a cold, lying in bed moaning. Haley says her parents are true love, and she is an accident. She isn't an accident, she is my destined fate. Haley had a fever, her whole body was burning. I didn't dare to sleep all night and moved a chair to sit next to her. Fortunately, her fever subsided the next morning, and her eyes were especially bright with a hint of redness in her face. When she looked up and talked to me, my heart skipped a beat. Tonight is New Year's Eve, and my parents still aren't back. They are now in Los Angeles, and they video called to tell Haley to take care of herself. Haley scolded them for being unreliable. You two are on a honeymoon every day. After so many years, you're still as loving as ever. And me? What kind of parents leave their child behind to go traveling? Oh, your mother and I need to enjoy our time together. Besides, you still have Rockey. He's much more reliable than your mother and me.
Bye. Bye.
Haley stared at the hung-up video call, speechless. I felt a bit of secret happiness. Mrs. Lee from next door invited us to her house for New Year's Eve dinner. Mrs. Lee and Mr. Lee are empty nesters. Haley said we should care for them more. Actually, she just wanted to eat Mrs. Lee's stir-fried crayfish. She finished the whole plate herself. I'll learn to make stir-fried crayfish when we go back. Haley always says she wants to stay up for New Year's Eve, but she always falls asleep. This year, she said she'd definitely stay up. Unfortunately, she fell asleep again. At night, she slept with Mrs. Lee, and I slept with Mr. Lee. Before sleeping, she asked me what my New Year's wish was. Before I could answer, she said, "I hope I get rich." Her simple wish made me laugh. She got angry and wanted me to wish that she would get rich in the future. Haley will get rich in the future. That's more like it. Actually, my wish is also very simple. I hope Haley stays safe every year. And also, don't talk to Tony anymore. Talk to me more. School has started again, and my parents have finally returned from Los Angeles. They're really unreliable. Whenever there's a holiday, they abandon me and go traveling, calling it a world for two. Looking at it this way, I actually feel like I'm in a similar situation as Rockey. Both of us have been left behind while our parents are away. With my parents back, I no longer have any reason to go to Rockey's house for meals. My dad can cook well, but compared to Rockey, it's just average. Rockey has spoiled my taste buds over the years. Does my mom know how to cook? No, she just waits to eat like I do. My mom can't cook or do housework. She just married a good man. After marriage, all the housework is done by my dad. My mom has been pampered by my dad into becoming helpless. She spends her days either watching TV after work, chatting with Mrs. Lee about gossip, or having long phone calls with Rockey's mom. I decided that if I ever get married, I want someone like my dad. My mom said, "Isn't there already a ready-made one?" Who? Rockey. He's even better looking than your dad. Daughter, listen to me. Go for him. Speechless. Since when did moms encourage their daughters to date early? I declined. Rockey and I grew up together. We have a childhood friendship. Oh, the childhood friend can't compete with the sudden arrival, my mom said. She's so addicted to the internet that sometimes she uses terms I've never heard before. What childhood friend? What sudden arrival? I changed the topic. So, Mom, how did you win over Dad? I could win over many people, but I didn't win over your dad. Do you expect me to believe that? Alright, daughter, I'll tell you. Back then, your dad was just a young teacher, and I had just become a teacher too. Though your dad didn't have much money, he was neat-looking, gentle, and considerate. The girls chasing him were lined up from the city's edge to the other. So, how did you win him over? Win him over? At that time, it was your dad who was chasing me. He loved me so much that I reluctantly agreed in the end. Mom had a proud expression on her face as she said this. When Mom went out shopping, Dad said, "At that time, your mom was one of the girls chasing me. On my birthday, while other girls gave me handmade gifts, your mom did something different. She gave me a watch." Back then, watches were one of the 3 essential items, and having one meant you were wealthy. So it turns out Mom bought her way in. Don't think of me like that, daughter. Money is just material. Actually, I had a car accident once, and all the girls who chased me kept their distance. Only your mom came to the hospital to take care of me. From that day on, I vowed to treat her well. I felt touched. But that's not a reason for you two to show off your love in front of me every day. The second semester of junior high school has started, and my physics is still a mess. The glaring 12 points are taunting me. Dad, who is a primary school math teacher, and Mom, who teaches primary school English, have expressed their helplessness. Tony messaged me saying he's also having a hard time. He scored 10 points this time. We're really kindred spirits, Tony sighed. I gritted my teeth. No, I need to abandon the organization and leave the physics difficulties duo. Then I'll stay adrift in the sea of physics difficulties. Tony sent a crying face emoji. I opened the chat window with my best friend, Serena. How do I escape the physics difficulties duo? It's so annoying. Ask Rockey. He always gets full marks in physics, and his house is right across from yours. Are you sure you're not going to take advantage of this opportunity? That was a wake-up call. Right, there's also Rockey, the physics genius. I opened Rockey's gray profile picture. Are you there? I thought he wouldn't be online. To my surprise, he replied instantly. What's up? I got 13 points in physics this time. I'm so frustrated, TT. Didn't you and Tony enjoy being the physics difficulties duo? Huh? So, the reason he's been ignoring me these weeks is because I've been standing in the corner with Tony during physics class. How frustrating. You got full marks, and we couldn't. There was no reply from him for a while. I sulkily put down my phone. Cheapskate. It's just because we share the same struggle that you're close to Tony. Beep beep beep. The phone notification rang again. Come to my house at 6 p.m. for extra lessons. Okay. The younger brother is considerate of the older brother. He's typing. What to eat? Stir-fried crayfish. And, I want strawberry milkshake. I don't know how to make it. Okay, _. I'll try making it.
Yay!
At 6 o'clock, I knocked on Rocky's door right on time. The smell of stir-fried crayfish was irresistibly tempting. First, extra lessons. Oh. After Rockey tutored me for 3 months, my score improved to 40 points. When the exam papers were handed out during evening study, I flaunted it everywhere. I declare, I've officially left the physics duo. I flaunted my paper in class, then showed it to Rockey. Rockey, look, 40 points. Before I could enjoy it for a few seconds, everything suddenly went black. Damn, am I blind? I can't see anything. Rockey, where are you? I thought I had gone blind. A hand grabbed mine in the darkness. A familiar voice said, the school's power is out. The sudden blackout caused chaos in the class. Someone shouted, the power is out. No class. Students, go home quickly. Everyone, as if responding to a call, grabbed their backpacks and rushed out. The homeroom teacher was furious, shouting from behind. I grabbed Rocky's hand and ran outside. If not now, then when? We ran with the wind whistling past our ears, leaving the school far behind before we stopped. Both of us were breathing heavily. Looking at the starry sky, I felt for the first time that I had outrun the light. This might be the most reckless thing I've done in my school years, escaping evening study with Rockey, the genius. The pressure of high school entrance exams in junior year is also not small, stifling me for half a year and almost making me sick. We stayed on the riverbank, enjoying the evening breeze for a long time before heading home. That night, I asked him for the first time, Rockey, which high school do you want to go to? Wherever you go, I'll go. The older brother will protect the younger brother. B school is too difficult for me. Not necessarily B school. Wherever you go, I'll go. Seeing Rocky's determined eyes, I couldn't help but stand on tiptoe and ruffle his hair. You're still such a follower at this age. Rockey didn't get angry when I ruffled his hair. Instead, he smiled and said, yes, I'm a follower. Okay, I'll try to get into B school. Due to my struggles in physics, I barely made it into B high with a score just 2 points above the cutoff. Rockey, on the other hand, secured the top spot in B high with the help of a donation. We dragged our big and small bags away from home, heading to New York for high school. To be precise, Rockey was dragging the big bags while I was swaying along with a small backpack by his side. When we set off, Tony and Serena came to the station to see us off. They both got into the local high school and even ended up in the same class. Seeing them holding hands, I realized that my 2 closest friends had betrayed me. I'm going to kick you 2 out of the organization. Both of you get into a relationship together. Serena quickly pleaded, sorry, we shouldn't have kept it from the leader. Tell me, when did this start? Tony tried to act nonchalant. Oh, we only got together after the high school entrance exams. We're confessing honestly now. I mean, when did you 2 start this affair? I was furious. These 2 had deceived me together. Serena, blushing and fidgeting, was about to speak when Tony jumped in. After being good friends for 3 years, I didn't want to just be friends anymore. I wanted to be her boyfriend. As angry as I was, I still wished them well. When we got on the bus, Serena winked at me, and Tony winked at Rockey. These 2 troublemakers, who would have thought they'd end up together? Tony really hit it well. I had no idea he liked Serena. I couldn't help but complain to Rockey, who didn't respond immediately. After a while, Rockey, engrossed in his physics book, looked up and said softly, "By the campfire, how could you not feel the warmth?" "Huh, what do you mean? Do you want to have a barbecue?" In the basketball arena, the cheers for the campus heartthrobs from various high schools were deafening. I didn't expect Rockey to play basketball. He couldn't even play in middle school. Until Rockey woke me from my daze. Water? I hadn't brought any, only my water bottle, which I handed to him. To my surprise, he grabbed it with lightning speed. Just this. He took a drink from my bottle. Water dripped down his jawline, his Adam's apple moving with each swallow. Rockey has really grown up. In English class, I pushed my homework notebook to Rockey next to me. He turned his head to see what I was writing. "You can play basketball? How come I didn't know?" "There are many things you don't know." "Like what?" "Like how the English teacher is currently watching you." I looked up just in time to meet the English teacher's gaze. "You two, get out to the corridor." In the science ranking, I was more than 200, but in the liberal arts ranking, I was in the top 10 of the grade. I resolutely chose the liberal arts track. Wait for the older brother to top the liberal arts rankings. We'll meet at the top. I was quite pleased. After starting high school, Rockey's admirers grew daily. Both from our school and others kept sending him love letters. As his deskmate, I naturally became the courier for these letters. He always ignored them, pushing the letters aside. Sometimes, he even took out his frustration on me, complaining that I wasn't delivering the letters properly. It gave me quite a headache. I don't want to be his deskmate anymore. There are too many people who like him. I finally voiced my feelings during a phone call with Serena. I hadn't told Rockey I didn't want to be his deskmate. He'd surely be upset, especially since he had used his top rank to ensure we were seated together. "Haley, are you jealous?" I immediately retorted, "I'm not jealous. I'm really just annoyed with all these people asking me to deliver love letters to Rockey." "Really?" "Absolutely. What's our relationship?" "I'm the older brother, and he's the younger brother. The older brother likes the younger brother. Besides, I, Haley, also have people chasing me. If anyone's jealous, it should be Rockey." "Then tell me, who's pursuing you?" "Like Eddie Pong and Daniel Wu. Are you dreaming?" After finishing the call on the balcony, I opened the balcony door to a delicious aroma of instant noodles. Wise men don't fall in love. The iron pot only stews a big goose. Instant noodles are ready. Come and eat. Our 4 roommates squeezed around a table, and the dorm leader pulled out an iPad from somewhere. We ate instant noodles while binge-watching dramas. The steam from the noodles and the Korean drama were a perfect match. We all cried when the main characters in the drama broke up. Of course, if it weren't for the sudden raid by the dorm supervisor, I believe that night would have been perfect. Instead, the iPad was confiscated, and on Monday, the entire school was informed of our misdeeds. We were punished to clean the school auditorium for a week. During self-study, Rockey sent me a message, "Is the Korean drama good?" I replied, "Yes, but cleaning the auditorium is really tough." "Rockey, how so?" My back and hands hurt." "Rockey, great." What's great about it?" On the other end, he was typing, "Come downstairs. I have something for you." When I went downstairs, I looked around, but there was no one in sight. Was Rockey playing a prank on me? Suddenly, a dark object fell from above, and by reflex, I reached out and caught it. It was a star-patterned cup. I looked up to see Rockey leaning on the railing, smiling at me, holding a large box. The evening breeze gently tousled my hair. I heard my heart beating rapidly. At that moment, fireworks seemed to explode inside me. When the class leader from the neighboring class confessed his feelings to me, my mind was still occupied with thoughts of Rockey. He told me he had been paying attention to me since the start of high school, and had been trying to learn more about me through various means. He spoke of his feelings for me, and I could only respond with a simple sorry. He wasn't disheartened. He just smiled faintly and said, "It's okay, as long as you're happy." Is this what it's like to like someone? Even when they don't reciprocate, you still wish for their happiness. I clutched my pounding heart. No, it's not that I might like Rockey. I do like him. Very much. I raced to the basketball court, imagining how I would confess my feelings to Rockey. But as I stood in the bleachers, ready to wave at him, a strikingly attractive girl approached him and handed him water. He took it, looking down at her. From my angle, it seemed like they were almost kissing. I let my hand drop and turned away, leaving the basketball court. A few days later, rumors spread through the school about the top 2 students in science being in a relationship. Rockey was the top student, and the girl from the basketball court was rumored to be second. After a few days of silence, I decided to uninstall my social media apps. When he asked through mutual friends, I just said it was because I was too stressed with my senior year to use my phone. I began to intentionally avoid him. During the holidays, I would book tickets in advance and pretend not to be home when he knocked on my door. Senior year was exhausting. I would grind away at liberal arts questions until I felt nauseous, striving for the top spot in my class. When the college entrance exam results were announced, my name was listed alongside Rockey's on the red honor roll. Rockey came to my house. He asked me, as he always did, where I wanted to go. For the first time, I lied and said I wanted to go to Q University. In reality, I boarded a train to City N. On the train, I opened my messages and found 2 unread messages from Rockey. Haley, why have you been ignoring me? Haley, I like you. The dates were from a year ago. I couldn't reply that I liked him too, as I was the one who had pushed him away first. Recently, the watermelon story trend became popular, with everyone sharing their stories. I thought of my own story, of a wonderful childhood friend who liked me and whom I liked in return. Our story had a bad ending. I wrote a novel to document our story. The story was true, but the ending was fictional. Now, my male protagonist was complaining about why I gave us a bad ending. I told him it was because bad endings were all the rage now, for the sake of popularity, of course. Well, we did end up with a bad ending, but we reunited. During my first year of college, I never expected Rockey to be the one picking me up. He patiently explained the rumors from high school. At that time, when she handed me water, she said it was for my friend. I just took it. Later, when those rumors spread, I thought the truth would come out on its own and didn't address it. I should have explained it sooner. I've always liked you, and it hasn't changed, even now. Tony once said he didn't want to stay friends with Serena, and I felt the same way about not wanting to stay friends with you. But you and Serena said you wanted to focus on your career and not on dating. I wanted to wait until after the college entrance exams to confess. But you deliberately ignored me during senior year, and I thought you were just focusing on your studies and didn't want to talk to me. And you also lied to me. For the first time, Rockey listed all my faults. I looked at him and kissed him. He was momentarily stunned. And then, we began our sweet long-distance relationship. But that's a story for another time. Rockey was already asleep while I was still updating on my phone. Suddenly, a hand grabbed my phone. Rockey whispered in my ear, "A moment of spring night is worth 1,000 gold. When did you become so cheesy?" All right, the rest of the content is behind a paywall. My leading man scored full marks in my youth. So, we will be together forever. The end. If you like Puppy's story, please follow and like it. Updated every morning at 9 a.m.